another edition of Borino Live. We do this every week right here in Rockstars. I'm your coach Borino. We're going to talk about real estate and money and success and leads and being successful and having an awesome summer. I answer your questions. We spend about an hour. I drink my coffee. Here it is. And if you have any questions, of course, post them. I'll be happy to answer. And if you're watching this on replay, this is the address, Real Estate Rockstars. Excellent group. We're headed towards 10,000 members. Fantastic. Vibrant group. Good to have you. Mary is with us. Celia's checking in. Nice to have you all. All right. Is the audio good? Is the video good? Let me see. I want to make sure you guys can hear me and can see me. Looks like everything is good, right? Hold on a second. Let me double check it here just to make sure. You know, last time I had one of the slides up and I was talking to the camera. I was behind the camera. You couldn't see me. You couldn't hear anything. That was pretty funny. So this time I want to make sure we are good. All right. Aaron is saying hello. Welcome to Rockstars. Miss Gail, always nice to have you. Lovely card I received from you. Thank you so much. What a kind gesture. That was really good. All right. And to our friends in Arizona, I've heard you have a really hot market there. So I hope everything is good. Dean is checking in. Todd is with us. Absolutely fantastic to have you, all of you guys. We're going to have a good time together. Audio? All right. And to our friends in... Good. Audio is good. I think we're ready to rock and roll. So here's what we're going to do. I have some questions that I wanted to address. Some comments from you guys. We're going to draw a winner. Remember, we had that weekly giveaway of an awesome book, so we're going to talk about that. Anything you feel would be time well spent, please do ask, share. We have the whiteboard behind me. We can write notes and we can have a good time. Groovy? So with that, spectacles back on. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the likes. Jessica's with us. Hey, Jess, by the way, fantastic things you shared last week. We've been getting tons of great comments on the interview. If you guys haven't caught it yet, if you haven't seen it yet, Jessica and I spent about an hour interviewing her how she went from $8,000 a month to being a total rock star, closing over 30 deals this year. Really good stuff. 3 years in the business. Absolutely nailed it. Tons of good advice, tons of inspiration. Really good stuff. So thanks for that. And our honorary and awesome admin of our group as well, Ms. Jessica Stowe. Absolutely cool. All right, Mr. William May, good to have you. Real estate rockstar from California who's about to go through some major transformations, right? We're going to do the boot camp together, brother. It's going to be good. Okay. So hello to everybody. And with that, let's tackle the first question. This one comes from Kayla. Kayla posts, hi there. I'm looking for some ideas on how to generate more leads. I do not have a sphere of influence. I have been able to close 3 deals on my own from open house clients. I was thinking of joining some type of a sport, club, or doing some type of community service. Any ideas? What has worked for some of you? Really good question. And I wanted to tie it in with the idea of how can you have an amazing summer? What can you do to spend the June, July, and August in abundance? Lots of leads, lots of clients, lots of money, good times. So we'll talk about that. Where are the leads right now? What should you be focused on? What's working right now? And how to go about it to generate these bad boys quickly, okay? So here's the goal. Now, for some of you, 100 grand in the next 3 months would be like, shit, dude, I'm going to tighten my belt and take a cut. No, fuck no. For some of you, it'd be pretty good, right? But I'll give you a quick little roadmap. Here is my belief when it comes to like setting up plans and building these roadmaps to a successful summer or successful year or successful career. I have 3 criteria. Number 1, the plan has to be simple. That's number 1. Because if it's going to be 175 steps, you're going to, fuck that, I'm not doing that. That's too complicated. I know because I'm the same way. So simple, number 1. Effective, number 2. That means you're going to get to your goal. You're going to get there. Now, I can't promise or guarantee it because the work is still up to you. But I assure you, if you're going to sit on your ass, that's a pretty good guarantee you're never going to get there. So number 1, simple. Number 2, produces results. And number 3, cheap. It's easy if you have $5,000, $6,000 marketing budget to generate that kind of income. You just throw it at Facebook, throw it at some lead generation services and systems. You throw out some advertising, some direct mail. Of course you're going to get there. But it's going to cost. Now, I would venture to say that either you don't have that kind of budget, but even if you do, spending it on just passive lead generation and business generation may not be the best investment. That's up to you. I'll let you make the call. What I'm offering you, a way less expensive way to get there. Cool? So that's what I want to focus on over the next few minutes. Is that a good plan? Are you guys up for it? Yeah? How to get there? All right, good. Looks like a bunch of you want to hear it. All right, excellent. Hey, Candy, good to have you. Maria checking in. Lovely. Very good. You guys want to go forth with it. So let me give you a simple plan. There are several steps you're going to take that will get you to this. Now, whatever this number is for you in the next 3 months. This can be lower, it can be higher. I like the 100 grand. I like that. Because if you take out the business expenses and taxes, you're not going to end up with a whole lot of cash, but enough to have a pretty good summer. Cool? So, step one, and this is the foundation. You have to have the right beliefs. Beliefs. In other words, that there is money out there, there's business out there, there are clients out there. Because if the computer up here is off, if you live in a mindset of scarcity, if you believe business is hard, money's hard to come by, clients cannot be trusted, market is too hot, there are other agents who are better than me. If you have all this programming running in your head, it will steer you off. That means you can have the most accurate roadmap from this point where you are to this point where you want to be. You set off and you have good intentions, you're on your way, but then the beliefs kick in, the programming kicks in, and boof, you go down. Has that ever happened to you? You can have the most advanced systems, you can have the most advanced real estate strategies, you can be the best agents in the world. If this computer is off, if the programming there, like your operating system on your phone. Speaking of which, let me turn it off so we don't get disrupted. If the OS is fucked up on my phone, I can have the fanciest apps, the most coolest thing on my phone. It's not going to work. It's going to keep crashing and freezing. So if you are crashing and freezing, fix the beliefs first. Read some good books, hang out in rockstars, talk to other successful agents, and start collecting evidence how much abundance and money there is around you, because there is. Because there are other agents driving nice cars, other agents making a whole lot of money. There's absolutely no reason why you couldn't either. It doesn't require you need to be 7'2". It doesn't require you need to be 22 and handsome and sexy. It doesn't require to have any special abilities other than perseverance, consistency, passion, diligence, and focus, and the right beliefs. So start there. Fix your beliefs. Numero uno. And don't really skip this, because it will trip you. You know how I know that? I end up being homeless because of my beliefs. Because my belief was money was hard to come by. All right? So watch out for that. Don't let that trip you. And if it has tripped you in the past, no big deal. You can reset it. Just like your OS on your phone. If it's busted, delete, reset, download a fresh version, new version. Update. Go to the new one. So that's step one. Step two, roadmap. Roadmap, just like if you go on a car trip. A friend of mine and I, we're going to ride motorcycles over the holiday weekend of the 4th of July, which I'm really looking forward to. So what we do, we take 2 points. This is where we are, Virginia, just like Washington, D.C. Okay, here's where we are, and we're going to go here and here and here. We build a simple roadmap. You got to do the same. Figure out where you are and where you're going to get there, how you're going to get there. Put together a very simple plan. Plan to get $100,000. What would it take? Break it down. It only takes 4 things you got to know. How many leads it's going to take, how many appointments it's going to take, and how many listings it's going to take. That's the only thing you got to know. Because let me decipher the magic of this real estate business for everybody. It's really simple. It's not an easy business, but it's not complicated. Think about it. If you know how to get leads, and we'll talk about where they are in just a moment. If you know how to follow up with those leads and turn some of them into appointments, listing appointments. And if you know with good listing presentation, good pre-listing package, good communication skills, good qualifying abilities, how to turn those appointments into listings, you have a profitable business. There's nothing else. There's nothing else. Now we'll talk about where these leads come from, because that's the foundation. But you got to figure it out. So break it down real simple. What would it take? How many listings do I need to sell to get to my 100 grand? Well, for a simple math, because you know me, no good when it comes to math, duh. So if your average commission is 10 grand, you need to take 10 listings in the next 90 days, June, July, and August. 10 listings. So that means 3 point something listings a month, between 3 and 4 listings. Doable? Hell yeah, that's less than a listing a week. Come on. Part-time with my eyes closed, really. Set your standards high. You can totally do that. So that's the first thing. How many listings will it take? Then, how many appointments do you need to go on to get 10 listings? Well, if you're my students, if you have the Presentation Plus, if you're practicing, if you have pretty good communication skills, it shouldn't take more than maybe 15 appointments. No more than that. If it takes more than that, then Houston, we have a problem. Then you know what you need to focus on, what you need to fix. Your presentation, but it's just like with anything else. Can you fix it? Of course. Live an example, it can be done. Czechoslovakian immigrant, thank you very much. You know what I'm saying? You can totally do that. Practice the right stuff. Be careful. Practice alone just makes permanent. It doesn't make perfect. You've been lied to. Practicing the right stuff will make you perfect. So with some practice, 15 appointments, groovy. So now we have a second target. So that's give or take 5 appointments a month. Little more than 1 a week. Again, can you do that? If you believe you can, you will. If you feel like, holy shit, that's a lot. Houston, we have a problem again. So 15 more appointments. How many leads will it take to get my 15 appointments? Where if you're a newbie just starting out, probably 10 to get 1. So 150 leads divided by 3, 50 a month. If you're a rock star, probably 5 or somewhere in between. So if it's 5, so it's going to be 75 leads, somewhere there. Now your plan has to start with, all right, so if I have to generate, let's say, a lead a day, let's just use that again for sake of easy math. You're going to figure out your own number. What do I have to do to get my 1 lead every day? That's the crux of the whole approach. Because leads will generate appointments, appointments will generate listings, listings will generate income, income generates groovy lifestyle, 100,000, freedom, joy, good times. Okay? Whether you've heard me talk about this before, whether you've done this before, whether you've never heard this before, whether you believe in this or not, none of that matters. What really matters is, can you build a simple roadmap right now? This shouldn't take you more than 15 minutes to put together. But without this, you're going to go like, all right, it is Tuesday morning. Oh, let me get my coffee. What am I going to do today? That's how most agents operate. Shooting from the hip. Improvising. And then the day takes over, and here you are, 8 o'clock, you come home all beat up, tired, barely make a dinner with your family. You're tired, you're exhausted, it was a busy day, just was not very productive. You know how I know that? You ain't got your 1 lead every day. Because you're putting out fires, you're handling this, you're dealing with that, you're doing admin work here, you're doing bullshit work there, on the phone over here, a little bit of prospecting so you don't feel super guilty. But there's no system, there's no organization to it. How do I know that? Income. That's the bottom line. There's nothing else that will measure whether you fail or succeed than your bank account. That's why you're here in the first place. And don't give me this bullshit, you love people and you like people and breathing home. Yeah, great. But you're not going to do it for free. And that's okay. This is your business. This is your livelihood. But stay focused. What is really important? Money, cash. Because I guarantee you that if I take $1 million check right now and write it to you and sign it and say, go ahead and cash it, you ain't going to be doing no real estate. You're not going to be in your office 6 o'clock in the morning hustling and prospecting. You don't love people that much. And that's okay. This is not to beat you up. This is just to bring reality. How do you measure if it's working? Dollars. If you're getting listings, it's working. If those suckers are getting sold and you're getting paid, it's working. If you're going on appointments and turning those appointments into listings, it's working. And if it's not working, one of these 3 is broken. You're not converting. That means your listing presentation is busted. You're not getting appointments. That means your follow-up is busted. And you're not getting leads. That means your lead generation is busted. That's it. And then through dollars, we measure how good it is. And then we can scale it. Now, once you're making this kind of money, yes, you don't need to kill yourself once you're at that level. But you got to get to that level through hustle. Because there are only 2 ways you're going to make this in this business. One is dollars. We talked about it. If you have the budget for it, you can invest in your business. Yes, you can buy the business. That's cool. We do it all day long. My company invests in Facebook. We promote stuff. We advertise. That's fine. But if you don't have a big budget for that kind of stuff, the only other way to do it is hard work, hustle. And then later you combine these 2. You combine hard work with some money, and you have a nice system where some of these leads come to you passively. Some you generate. Some will be one-on-one, like you knock on a FSBO door. Some will be one-to-many, like an ad on Facebook or a direct mail piece or any other stuff you can do. You with me so far? Is this making sense so far? Now, I know some of you may be looking at it going, yeah, duh. And yet you don't have it, and you don't have the roadmap, and you still don't know, and you're still driving with your eyes closed. It's still dark outside, and your lights are off on your car, and you're hauling ass 50 miles an hour. When you hit the wall, you go, what the fuck happened? And you know how you know you hit the wall? You don't have your 100 grand. You're hustling for peanuts. Or worse, you're working with buyers. Yes, there I said that. I'm going to address it in just a moment. Okay, so this is phase 1, beliefs. Phase 2, roadmap. Phase 3, figure out where your leads are going to come from. And especially if you're in the bind, you got to start with somebody who wants to do something now or within the near future. Because if you start generating leads 2-3 years down the road, you ain't going to stay 2-3 years until they convert into clients. That's a horrible business model. That's no bueno. You can add that later once you are at this level. That's cool, but you can't start there. So you got to be out there hustling. High probability leads. We talk about it almost every week. That's the answer. Because if I have a lead that's already in the process where they think about it here, they take action here, and they sell here, I want to hit them somewhere right here, right before they take action, meaning sign a contract with somebody. Because if I get them here while they're thinking about it, this can be 12, 24 months. Really? You can wait 24 months before you start converting all these people? Huh? That's a tough one. That's going to take a lot of follow-up, and you still have no guarantee you're going to get them here. Because another agent can scoop him in, there can be another friend in the business, there can be all kinds of shit that can go wrong. If you give them 24 months, that's a plenty of opportunity for something to go sideways, speaking from experience. Okay, so you want to catch them right here. So where do we catch there? Which brings me to the next question. Is that making sense so far, you guys? Is this stuff that you can relate to, is this helpful? Whether you heard it or not, don't let that go. Shift to believe. Decide that today's the day. First day of summer, I'm going to have a rocking summer. I'm going to knock it out of the park. This is going to be the most profitable, most fun, most productive summer I have ever had. And I'll tell you why. Good, you guys like it. Excellent, good. A little whoosh. Here's the thing. The beautiful thing about this business, being a real estate agent, as opposed to almost every other business out there, is you have a very small radius of turn. What do I mean by that? Let me show you what I mean. Let's wipe this out and continue. Here's what I mean by that. Let's say here we are in June, and you had a shitty 6 months, or not great, not where you want it to be. So you started in January, right here. Good, ambitious plan, put to action. You worked. You're not lazy. I know you guys. You're rock stars. But here we are, 6 months later. This is June, and this is December. So here, instead of following the plan, you start kind of meandering. And then instead of being here in dollars, so let's say your goal was 250,000 for the whole year, so you should have been about 170 or whatever, you know, again, my math, 120, 125, okay? But you're not. Let's say you're at 60. And it's not going well. And you know that if you continue this trajectory, you're not going for your 125 and 250, you're going down here, and you're maybe at 60 or whatever number you plug in, okay? So you know something is off. And of course, lead generation, follow-up, and presentation. Those are the only three possibilities. And then, of course, beliefs, the mindset, your expertise, communication, all those things. So here's what I mean, short radius, short term. Just like certain cars take a lot of room to turn. Or even better, any of you sail? Any of you have boats? I had a 35-foot Catalina boat when I was living in California. And on top of our mast, we had to have a deflector, which is a metal piece that's about this big. And it's like these 4 plates that intersect like this. And the point of that was, because the sailboat is very low to the water, we were sailing from Los Angeles across the water. It was about a 5-hour sail to Catalina Island, about 26 nautical miles across the channel. But it was also the channel where a lot of heavy traffic to Seattle and north to Canada was going. A lot of big ships, and we're talking like those big-ass ships. And because they're way up there, their radars are way up there, and a sailboat is down there have been accidents where these big guys just ram a sailboat and send it right to the bottom of the ocean. So it was mandatory for certain watercraft, small watercraft, to have the deflectors. And these deflectors would reflect signal to the big ships, the big tracked ships. Because the big ship will take between a mile to 2 miles to stop, just to stop and turn. Very slow, very bulky, cumbersome to maneuver on the water. So even if the captain saw the sailboat, usually it was way too late, they would just go right for it. The interesting thing is they haul ass, and you're on your sailboat chilling, having beers, and you're nicely set, the sails are set, you're playing music, having a good time. And you see the ship there in the distance, they're just chilling, cool. But it's all good, beautiful day, you know, breezy. Next thing you know, this fucking thing is right at you. They move so fast, and it's so deceiving how quickly they can come upon you. It's crazy. And they're giant. They're like this monster building right above you. You, in this business, can be very nimble. Unlike those big ships that require a lot of maneuvering, a lot of power just to come to stop or turn, that's why you have tugboats maneuver them to the harbor, you can do it very quickly. And what that means is it doesn't really matter what happened last week, what happened last month, what happened up till this point. Because of the nature of this business and because your ability to find, connect with, build trust, and convert leads who are either ready right now or very quickly, you can turn this business around anytime. Or if you're doing well and you want to do a lot better, you can do that as well. There are 2 ways you can do that. One way would be you start the ladder approach. That means you fix something here and it gets incrementally better. That's cool. And then you fix something here and it gets better again. You get back on track a little more. Then you fix something here, your listing presentation, and it gets better. Then you fix a one lead generation situation here and it gets better. And then incrementally over a period of time, and this can be anywhere from 3 months to 12 months, you can get back on track. That's doable. And many agents do that. And if that's the best way you can do that, that's the best way. Do the best you can with what you got. But the cool thing is, you don't have to use this staircase approach or ladder approach. You can literally leap up here. And not just here, but here and further up. It's possible. It's possible. You can do that. Going back to what we talked about earlier, start with beliefs. See, one day I will spell it right, but not today. Have the belief that you can do it. You can turn it around. Because if you hold on to the belief, well, I fucked up last week and last month and it's been a horrible 6 months, it's impossible to change. Don't even expect that. So if you start with the belief, well, okay, not everything is going well. I'm not exactly where I want to be. I learned some lessons. I made some mistakes that I will correct now. But I know deep inside I can pull this off. Other agents are doing it. Not as good looking as me, not as skilled as me, not as hungry as me. I can do that. You start that, reset that first, because then the only question you're going to keep asking is how? How do I make this trajectory? How do I get there? What do I have to do first, second, third? You reset your beliefs, come up with a simple plan, start working high probability seller leads. That's the answer. And the question that sometimes get asked is, where are these leads? How do I get them? Simple. If somebody's already selling, start with them. If somebody already tried to sell, why not work them? If there are people around you who know you, like you, and trust you, why not work with them? If people are willing to come to you, why not talk to them? Why not connect with them? Why not see if you can help them? Doesn't need to be any more complicated than that. Doesn't need to be more than FSBOs, new and old expireds, canceled listings, your sphere of influence, maybe an open house, and if you want to throw in, let's say, Facebook, or a little bit of direct mail, or maybe some door knocking once in a while to promote your open house, you're all set. You're all set. You do this diligently, whoosh, there goes your trajectory. And then you just correct. Then you just fine tune. Okay, I got to work on my follow-up. I lost one lead over here. They listed with somebody else. Why? I didn't follow up often enough. Cool, let's fix that. I lost another listing there. They overpriced it. What do I need to work on? My presentation, the pricing element. The emotional decoupling that I teach you in Presentation Plus, that's what I work on. Everything can be troubleshooted, because here's the best part. If you work these high probability leads, and if you have no system whatsoever, whether you buy mine or not, that's not the purpose of our talk today. But if you use mine, it's just going to happen faster. That's the only difference. If you work these people, and if you're completely off track today, if you're here today, you can completely screw up today. You can be completely off. There'll be another FSBO tomorrow. There'll be another expire tomorrow. There'll be more people in your sphere that today have no interest in moving. Suddenly, life turns tomorrow. Illness in the family, divorce, or happy events. But life changes, life evolves. And people you know right now who have absolutely no plans to move, tomorrow, everything can change. New job promotion, lost their job. Dozens of reasons why people move. You with me? So there'll be another opportunity, and then another, and another, and another. So if you don't get them right away, why would you beat yourself up? They'll be like this. Think about it this way. I have never been on a golf course. Never. I never played golf ever in my life. So for those of you guys who play golf, you can relate. The rest of you, this will make sense. Imagine I grab a golf club, one of them. I know there's a bunch in the bag. Goes to show you how little I know about the sport. I go on this lovely golf course, right? What's like a nice golf course? Somewhere like in, I don't know, Colorado has those mountain golf courses, or Maui, somewhere in Hawaii, okay? And before I hit the golf course, I will visualize. I will be positive. I will have lots of positive thinking. And I'll be passionate. And I will expect to succeed. And I go on a golf course, and I know what's the best score I can hit, like 70, right? Something like that. That I know. What are the chances of me playing a perfect game that day? My first time on a golf course. 0. 0. It would be ludicrous, crazy, impossible, unless the aliens come from the outer space and reprogram me somehow magically or something like that. It's impossible, right? What about the second time? Maybe a less shitty game, but still really bad. It'd be flying all over the place. I couldn't expect anything more. So what would I have to do? Maybe hire a pro, teach me some, and then practice. And then do it over and over and over. With sports, with tennis, with golf, with riding a bike, with anything. These, working as a successful real estate agent, is the same thing. You got to work that skill. You got to know the market. You got to know how to communicate. You got to have some systems in place, and you got to work it diligently daily, and then correct and correct and correct and correct and correct. Correct, 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 correct. Take off. You screw up today, there'll be another FSBO tomorrow. You screw up today with the FSBO, you call them back in a week, they forgot all about you. You're not that memorable, trust me, I know. You know what I mean? There'll be always another opportunity tomorrow, something new tomorrow. So to sit there and say, well, I approached these 5 for sale by owners and they all tell me to go to hell and get lost, FSBOs don't work. Bullshit. Your approach didn't work. You have to have patience and diligence, and persistence didn't work. Maybe your mindset didn't work. And maybe your communication was off. But all that can be fixed. All that can be adjusted. This business is absolutely adjustable, fixable. That's why guys like me can teach you guys. If it required something unique that unless you possess that, you will never make it, I wouldn't be in the business, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't have the success stories of all of you guys I have, and I appreciate. Does it all make sense? So that's what you got to do. Now, back to our plan for an awesome summer. Make the plan immediately. Seriously, we're going to wrap up. Sit down. Okay, how do I get to my 100,000 in the next 90 days? If you believe you can, you will be asking how? What do I have to do? Where are the leads right now? And they're out there. There are people who will be thinking about selling right now and listing within the next few days, next few weeks, next few months. Get them. Get them. They need a good agent, somebody who they can trust. Reach out to them. Is this all making sense, my friends? Good. Guy, exactly. Listen to what he says. Mindset and communication has been opening doors lately. That's what I'm saying. Mindset with the right communication supported by good system and persistence will get you there. No magic to it. Okay? Jessica says, Captain Tight Pants says that it's possible, just mathematically improbable. It's possible. It's totally possible. It's within your reach, guys. Don't play for peanuts. Don't play for peanuts. If you're going to put in the work, the stress, the time, the effort, get paid. You can and you will. Yeah? All right. Now, let me make sure I see all your comments, my dear friends. All right. Mr. Brian Casella, good to have you, good sir. Rockstar from Hacienda Heights, Los Angeles, California. I just closed a deal that was cold call, and within 24 hours, one property shown an accepted offer. There are deals out there. There are absolutely deals out there. Think about it. There'll be 5.6 million transactions closed this year. A bunch of people will be moving, and summer is a perfect opportunity for people to move. Our school system here in Virginia ends on Friday. That means for people who want to move, kids are out of school, makes everything a lot easier. A lot of people will be moving. And if you believe you can reach them, you will. If you believe you can help them, you will. If you believe they're out there waiting for you, they are. That's simple. Yeah? Jessica says, I believe that Borino will be able to spell beliefs very soon. One can always hope, right? Absolutely great. All right. Let me see what we have else on our agenda. Here we go. I wanted to address Nicole. Hi, everyone. I just started prospecting FSBOs. For those of you who prospect both FSBOs and expireds, what do you feel is the higher conversion rate? The few FSBOs I have gotten appointments with are not motivated at all. Just wondering if expireds are different. Thanks. First of all, Nicole, kudos for working high probability leads. Absolutely outstanding. You're working these guys. Is it possible for sell by owners not motivated? Yes, it is possible. But here's the thing. Think about it this way. If somebody goes through the trouble of sticking the sign up, running some ads on Zillow, putting some ads on Craigslist, doing all that stuff, if they have really no desire to sell, would they go through all the trouble? Or have they figured out how to get rid of the low status, aggressive, arrogant, needy agents by pretending they're not that motivated because they're afraid that if they expose themselves and if they're honest with you, they're going to be exploited and manipulated, which is a lot of agents do. Is it possible they're not motivated? It's possible. And if you're absolutely 100% certain that a certain seller lead is not motivated at all, in other words, they don't have enough pleasure drive or a pain drive, let them go. But be careful, because they've been to the seller school in which they've learned how to get rid of most of the agent. By pretending they're not interested or by telling you stories like we already have an agent, we have a buyer, you know, they have like 5 or 6 good answers they have tested which allow them to just get rid of most of them. Okay? So be careful. If you're even a little bit hesitant or a little bit uncertain about a certain lead, I would say stay with them. Stay with them. Give them a chance. Because if they're taking the steps necessary to sell, there may be a good chance that they're either hiding something, they're not honest with you, they don't have a reason to trust you. Something is up. Something is going on. Does it make sense? So be careful. Out of 5 FSBOs, I guarantee you 2 or 3 will sell, statistically. So be careful. You might be giving away business. Now, what if the FSBO is overpriced? Price is not an indication of motivation with any lead. With any lead, especially not with FSBOs. How are they supposed to know? Most agents don't price their listings light. How would you expect it to do for somebody who has no clue what they're doing? So don't use price as a validation whether they're motivated or not. It means nothing. Same with expired listings. It's the same thing. Price means nothing. Your ability to ask the right questions, to probe, to build enough trust where they can be open and honest with you, which they want to. You just have to give them a chance and some time to build that connection and that trust. Just like you and I, guys. Think about it. Were you immediately attracted to this crazy guy with this weird accent and a foul language? No, of course not. It took some time, right? Until you realize that behind the funny presentation that I do to entertain you and do all this stuff is genuine good content, is something you can actually use and something that produces results for you. And it took some time, some interaction. Same thing here. It's the same process. And it may take a few minutes, it may take a few days, it may take a few weeks, few months. It just depends. Everybody's different, but why would you drop them right away? So be very careful, unless you're a super master of communication and building trust super quickly, where they right away tell you, and you're very clear, what is their problem, what is their situation, what is the pleasure drive, what is their core drive and emotion, or lack thereof. You're giving away business. So the trick to for sale by owners: build trust and connection first. Establish you as the authority and helpful resource second. And then through follow-up, be the most persistent agent out there, because at the end, the person who's going to get the listing will be the agent who was the most helpful, who stayed the longest every single time, who is perceived by the seller as the most valuable resource to them, which can be you. It's really simple. Every week you follow up. Every week you offer something valuable. That's what the FSBOrino principles are. That's what the system is all about. You offer value, you offer tips, you offer guidance, you offer reassurance that it can be done. And you do it in a positive, fun, cool, interesting way. Yeah? Don't give business away. Because if you start tracking them and you go back historically, you will see that I'm right, that many of them sold. And many of them listed and sold with an agent. Now, as far as conversions, work both. Those are both fantastic leads. New expireds, old expireds, for sale by owners, all very, very, very good leads. Okay? Man, we have to turn the air off here in my office because the air unit is by the wall here and makes a lot of like white noise, unpleasant noise. And now the Virginia heat is kicking in with the coffee. Woo-hoo. All right. Tatiana posted a really good question. Okay, Rockstar agents, what is your favorite buyer lead generation platform? So let's talk about that. Ooh, I like this one. What is your favorite lead generation platform? My rock stars, veterans will know where I'm going to go with it. Why in the world would you look for buyer leads? Why, on top of it, would you be willing to spend money, and quite a bit of money, to generate buyer leads? You want buyer leads? You know what generates the best buyer leads? You ready for this? You ready? Here it is. Get good listings. Become an expert listing agent, and you will be flooded with high volume of good quality buyer leads. Good listings will naturally, organically, through your marketing and promotion and advertising, attract a boatload of buyer leads, good quality leads. Many of your sellers will become your buyers. Some of the transactions you will be able to double end. But there is no point, there is no absolutely business, it makes no business sense to invest time, effort, and money just to generate buyer leads so you can spend weekend after weekend after weekend driving people around, showing them a bunch of properties, writing these offers, negotiating offers, going back and forth with no guarantee that you ever go to the end, close the deal, and get paid. Besides, you're going to cap at about 3 active, 4 active buyers. That's about all you're going to be able to do. But with the right systems and the right support and a little bit of staff, you can have 10, 15, 20 listings on the market at any time without breaking your back, without slaving all weekend long, without working 12, 14-hour days. It's a much better business model, so why wouldn't you choose that? Why focus on buyers? Unless you absolutely love working with buyers and you say, fuck money, I don't care about my income, this is my mission in life. I'm going to be the Mother Teresa of buyers. More power to you. If it's a conscious decision, business decision, groovy. But I suspect it's not. I suspect your motivation is something else. I suspect you still believe that's an easier, faster way to get paid. Bullshit. I'm speaking from experience. You rock stars will chime in probably pretty soon saying the same thing. How you invested a boatload of time, boatload of effort, tons of effort. Your blood, sweat, and tears were into it with a very little payout. So I would offer you master your skills as a communicator, as a lead generator, as a prospector, and get a bunch of sellers. And control the market, control your income, control your business, and control your sanity. You know what I mean? Forget buyer leads. Forget it. It's a very poor business model. That's because they're transaction-oriented. It has to do with the buyer psychology. They go on the internet, look at pretty pictures, and if they see something they want, I want, mine. Precious. You know what I mean? They don't care who's going to sell them the house. You can have all the buyer agreements signed, and you can have the most loyal, friendly people. I had the coolest close friends as my client. They bought through an open house with somebody else. And I was ready to strangle them. I'm like, fuck you, how would you do that to me? We're friends. And then I realized, well, what am I doing? I understand the psychology. They wanted the house. And they got the house. And whoever can get them the house at a good price and help them through the process is their agent. That's just a means to get there. If they can get there without an agent, they don't really care. So don't work this business model. It's not a good business model. Become a great listing agent. You have plenty of buyers, you have plenty of cool clients, you control your income, you control your sanity, you control your time. And if you build 3 or 4 good lead generation systems, where you know what to say, you know where to find those leads, when you have a system in place that supports it, system meaning something like Espresso Agent to get the numbers, system like a expired package, system like a few materials you're going to need for FSBOs. All of them are in the systems, by the way, in the Expired Plus and FSBO and all that. But you can put yours together. It doesn't really matter whether you use mine or yours, doesn't matter. But you have something. And then you have a certain sequence on your follow-up where you talk to them once in a while, you text them once in a while, you send them a little video once in a while. You visit them once in a while. You mail them something once in a while. They constantly getting pinged. They see your name. They see your name. They see something helpful and cool. You're going to win. That's how it works. Okay? Hope that was helpful. All right. Oh, I promised you. Yesterday, we had that cool little contest. Did you guys like it? We had a contest where I said, post your goals for this week. And this ties in what we talked about today. You want to change your trajectory. Even start with these little simple weekly goals. What is it that I want to accomplish in the next 7 days? I do those. I mean, yes, we have a business plan for my company. We have an annual plan. I have a monthly planning. I'm not huge on plans. They're pretty simple. You know, I usually do a little mind map and then we put it on Trello and off we go. And then we set a weekly deadlines, weekly goals. Like my goal for this week is to complete and forward to editing the book that will go with the Real Estate Video Plus. That's my goal. That's my target. I've been working my ass off on it. The videos are done. They're on the server. The website is being built. We're looking forward to it. So I asked you, what are your goals? And there were some really cool ones, some very actionable, some kind of vague, some very specific, some really ambitious. And I said, one of you will win. So we have a random winner who's going to get this. This is one of the books I just finished, or I'm about to finish reading, by Tim Grover, who was a coach to the biggest basketball rock stars, including Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. The book is called Relentless. One of you will get a free copy. If you don't win, I suggest go get it, either Kindle version or a paperback version. Absolutely phenomenal, inspirational read that talks about a lot of qualities that you as a real estate rock star must have to really succeed. Very enjoyable. So, the winner of Relentless from the rock stars who posted their goals for the next 7 days is Amanda Mills. Congratulations, Amanda. Awesome. Her goal was 2 under contract and 1 new listing and a date night with my handsome husband. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. So you let us know whether your goals turn out to be thumbs up, date night with a hubby, 2 closings. Very nice. Amanda, if you're watching this, congratulations. Awesome. Do me a favor, please. Let us know if you prefer a Kindle version or a paperback. If she should ship you the paperback version or you prefer to get it on Kindle, and we'll hook you up. Every week we have this little giveaway where I'll give you different books and different little presents. Speaking of presents, you guys have noticed how rock stars have grown lately? We've been adding dozens and dozens and dozens of people every single day. So, point 1, welcome to some of you guys who are here for the first time on this broadcast. Some of you are. It's really great to have you. We have a phenomenal group and we are very, very happy that you're joining us and share and ask questions and participate. It's great to have you. I'm really excited. I love being part of the group. That's number 1. Number 2, don't post bullshit. We police it carefully. We have admins like you, Jessica, and Kat, our girl who joined Borino Productions recently. So if we catch you posting listings and open houses and promoting your business and promoting a service and bullshit like that, doesn't belong here. Sometimes you mean well, and I understand that. It's going to get kicked out. You're going to get kicked out. So please be cool. Keep it clean. No egos, no bullshit, no arguing. Just post something that you find helpful and you think will help everybody else, whether it's an answer or a question or something that would be a good resource. That's how we run things here. All right? So I wanted to say welcome. Now, we are headed towards 10,000 members. We're going to hit it within the next few days. So I was thinking it would be kind of cool to randomly pick some of you who have joined Rockstars and give some nice prizes away. So we're going to do this cool little giveaway when we hit 10,000 people. If you know somebody who would benefit from being in Rockstars, send them our way. Suggest a group. We'd love to have them because we believe that like attracts like. In other words, if you're cool, if you're either ambitious, if you're either here already or on the way there, you're in the right place. And if you have friends like that, they may belong to our group. So help us grow the group. Send some people our way, and at 10,000, we're going to do something fun. We're going to do something cool. We're going to give away some prizes and some fun stuff like books and whatever. Maybe some Borino programs and some memberships, or we'll see. We'll see. Okay? So that's coming. All right. More books, says Maria. Will do. Yes, absolutely. Thanks, T. T says congratulations. I appreciate that. Oh, she's probably saying congratulations to Amanda. Yes, yes. Great information. Thank you, says Angie Lopez. Wonderful. All right. Eliana says, thank you for your tips, Borino, from Staten Island, New York. Very welcome. Gail likes my precious, precious. Oh, yeah. Noah makes a really good point. As Mike Ferry always says, listing agent is the employer while the buyer's agent is the employee. That is so true. That is absolutely true. Very, very good. Ed liked my rant. Good. Cold calling, favorite prospecting method. When I get tired of that, I see where the world's like door knocking. We are starting the boot camp in August. By the way, we have few spots left. If you're curious about it, if that's something you want to talk to me about, just go to goborino.com. Here's the URL. Go there, fill out a little application form, put a little deposit in, and we'll talk. See if that's something that would benefit your business. We have few spots left. We're starting in August. That may or may not benefit your business. I don't know. But we'll talk about it. My goal is to spend 2 months together and you can rebuild your business. So if you need help to build this trajectory fast, we can do that. I've become pretty efficient at that. Meaning I take an agent, whether it's an experienced agent who needs to really boost it, or you're a newbie, you're starting out, you're just kind of wondering, where the hell do I start first, second, third? We can do that as well. 8 weeks of building your lead funnels, follow-up, and presentation. Okay? So go to goborino.com and let's talk. Quick update on the Video Plus. I know you guys have been asking me about it. It's done. The videos are done. The lessons are done, which I'm really excited. The book is in production. We're going to go to print. Once that's done, the website is already being built. We will be ready to launch very, very soon. And there'll be more updates. I'm going to post some videos directly from the course so you get an idea what it's about, and I'll help you with some stuff. There'll be some practical tips that will be posted so you can watch it, you can check it out, and hopefully you'll come on board. And I want to help you build videos. I'm going to build a video academy, which is if you really want to get serious about this, you want to crank out some really good videos, we will work together. We'll get together and I will help you get more comfortable on camera, put together good script outlines, shoot good videos, get them out there quickly so you can start collecting leads and listings very quickly. So that's coming. All right. Dean says, I've listed 6, have 2 more in the pipeline that will list with me in the next few weeks. Closed a pending 3 of them. So far, they work. That's what I'm talking about. Plenty of business out there. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Went to a FSBO and offered help, have safety tips and prepared comparisons for him. Drop it all at home. Excellent, Karen. That is fantastic. Stay with them. Keep in touch. Be cool. Be helpful. Stay with them. And watch what happens. Magic can happen. Ed would like to know, what was that about buyers? Somebody was asking about systems that generate buyer leads. That's all. Okay. Mindset and communication. Absolutely yes. All right. All right, guys. Thanks, Borino. As usual, very helpful, says Maka. Always good to have you, Maka. Absolutely great. Fabiola says, I am new and you have been really helpful. Can't wait to go into the boot camp. Would love to have you, Fabiola. It's a very intense program, but it's a lot of work too. Corey, that's a really interesting comment. Corey says, can't wait, but I can afford to join your boot camp. Won't be long now. That's absolutely great, but just be careful. Don't make it about money. If coming up with, and I don't know what we charge monthly for the boot camp, it's like 3 or 4 payments of $400 some. But if $400 some a month is a problem, you should be in the boot camp. So that $400 some a month is never a problem again. And we'll leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So Leah says, thanks, Borino. I'm new to this and very helpful, Cozy. Makes me really happy. All right, my dear friends. Look like our time is up and I am dying here. It's just been a humid, hot day in Virginia. We had a big storm and out of that we got this hot, humid air. So we're going to wrap up today. But more good stuff is coming. Just to kind of give you a heads up what's coming. Gail Zintek and I, we've been talking about doing another webinar to help you connect with your sphere. A lot of talk has been lately about how I generate more referrals. So we did a webinar before with Gail. She's a master. She closed over 50 referral transactions in 2016 last year. She's on track to do more than that this year. So I'll show you that you don't have to overthink it. It doesn't need to be too complicated. With a little bit of time and a little bit of effort and a little bit of money, you can do the same thing. She's very transparent, how she does the business, what she uses, the marketing tools. She uses social media, she uses send out cards, she uses direct mail, and she's just a cool agent. So we're going to do that. I want to do another digital review. Remember we did one, about 2 months ago? Where I took, about 5 of you guys, you submitted, and we reviewed your Facebook page, we reviewed your videos, we reviewed all your online presence, including your website. What would I, as your potential prospect and your client, see? And what would be my impression about you? And more importantly, if there is something that doesn't create the right impression or doesn't send the right message, how would we fix it? So we reviewed a bunch of your marketing materials, online marketing materials. We don't do it again. So if you want to be part of it, if that's something you'd like to be part of, we're going to schedule it. The next live session will be probably within a week or so. If you have stuff that you want us to take a look at, including your Facebook, your YouTube channel if you have one, your website, and anything else that I would look for if I were to shop for a good high-status agent, let me know. Here's how you're going to let me know. You're going to send an email to info@borinoproductions.com, and the subject line will be digital review. Now with that, you're going to give us a permission to be honest and open. We're going to pull up your website, we're going to pull up everything and point out, oh, this is good, this works, and this needs work. And here's how I would change it, and here's why. Now, I might even bring my man who's an absolute expert on this stuff, John Poley. You heard me talk about it with John. John did the review with me in the past, who is an expert on online marketing, runs a company that does, for example, our Facebook advertising. John is running our campaign. So John and I, or maybe just me, we'll see if John will be available. We'll get together and we'll spend about an hour showing you. Now, even if you're not picked or you don't want to be picked, you're freaking out or don't have online presence yet, come join us for the session. We're going to send out the invitation. You're going to learn some stuff about marketing, about perception, about first impression, about sending a congruent message that generates leads, appointments, and listings. Groovy? So we're going to do that. More coaching sessions are coming. There's all kinds of stuff coming. I'm going to do a course on how to get started on video, free course for you, a webinar, how to grab a phone and start cranking out videos. All that is coming. So if you want to be reviewed, send an email to info@borinoproductions.com, and the subject line is digital review. We're going to contact you. You're going to send us the link that you want us to review. We'll see whether you rank on search engines. We'll see all that. Cool? Looking forward to it. They're always fun. All right, guys. Good session today, right? We had a good time today. I want you to have a great summer. Think about it this way. In your town right now are people who are thinking about selling, who will be signing a listing contract with somebody really soon, who are shopping for a good agent, and who are shopping for a home somewhere else. They're going to need your help. If you, with the right mindset and the right beliefs, believe you can connect with them, you will find a way. With my help, of course, without my help, I'd be more than happy to help if I can. So post questions, ask. If you need more resources and tools, if you need systems, reach out, let us know. Okay? Good session today. Always nice talking with you. We're going to do this again next week, and I'm looking forward to it very much. Thank you very much for being here today. Your Coach Borino signing off, wishing you a fantastic Tuesday. We'll talk to you next week. Thank you very much. Let's go get it. Bye, everybody.